Welcome to the Relationship Cheat Code. We are back in the house.
Yes, indeed. Yes, indeed. Well, we're going to give you the game, helping you to stress less and become the best in all of your relationships.
All right, yes.
This right here is my lovely and incredible wife, Iana.
This right here is my dapper, debonair husband who just ate a rack of my popcorn because my cup was all the way up here and then it's down here now.
That's all good.
But I love you.
I love you too.
But you need to replenish my popcorn. And y'all, we are really excited because we have special guests in the house today. And let me tell you, they special, but they not. And let me just tell you what I mean.
They are special.
They special, but they not because they are friends. They're like our for real friends. So you know how you're like, oh, it's my friends, it's my homie. So, you know, I feel comfortable. But I am really excited to have them in here because the synergy between the four of us is always so good, isn't it?
It is, yeah.
Don't y'all agree?
Absolutely.
It's always good. So we're going to have some good conversation. And I am going to let them introduce themselves and just say a little bit about who y'all are, how long y'all been together, do y'all know each other? No, we know they're married. And a little bit about even how we met one another and came together. But first, let's just be like, ooh, this is Dorell and Tameka Tillman.
Yes,
Give it
yes.
up. Woo, woo, woo. So y'all, just tell us a little bit about yourselves and we'll go from there.
Okay.
You want to start?
Yes.
Of course. Of course you want to start.
Of course. We are the Tillman.
Yes.
I'm Tameka.
I'm Dorell.
And we have the absolute pleasure and honor of being friends, just organically with the Mayats. We love them dearly. We're from all, native Washingtonians.
You from the area?
Yeah, from the
From the
area.
area.
From the area. Represent.
Yes, from the area. Have been in LA now.
We've been here for like 4 years.
We've been here for years, so how long y'all been
We've
here?
been here for 5 years.
Okay.
Take
So
away
we were here.
COVID, yeah.
Yeah, right before you all moved here. But, we had the pleasure, of course. We know the story of connecting in Maryland and then just kind of sharing our experience.
I said that too.
Yes, you did. You did.
I said that.
Sharing the experience of our journey from the East Coast to the West Coast.
Yeah.
Just supporting the ones that we love. So, a labor of love.
Yes. So, Dorell, tell us a little bit about how y'all met and
Hold on.
how long y'all been together, and then I want to come back to have this transition out to LA.
okay. Yeah, that's
but
cool.
we want to get a little picture.
Y'all want to go deep into it or like just
Just go wherever it takes
just
you.
go
Wherever it takes you.
All right. Everybody know Florida Avenue.
Lord,
Not everybody. This
Not
is like nationwide.
Yeah. Well, if you're from
international.
the DMV area, you're kind of familiar with the Florida Avenue. Well, being specific, Henry's Cafe.
Oh, Henry's Cafe. Is that where y'all met?
That's where we met.
Oh.
In there, I worked for DC Water, and I was in there on my lunch break, and I was just talking to my buddy about the type of woman that I was looking for. And
On your lunch break?
I this is straight up just
Oh, yeah?
that day. Talking about the type of woman I'm looking for, I was like, I love like plain ponytail. I love women with baseball caps, just like the tomboy girl, round the way girl type. And she walked in, and I was talking to my partner. Shout out to Tyrone, he know my man Tyrone. And I was like, there she go right there.
Really? Oh
There she
my
go
gosh.
right there. And honestly, it was love at first sight, bro.
Oh.
Wow.
It was everything. And I didn't see I just saw her, but she had a curly little ponytail, and I don't want to say the other part because it's going to make me look.
Say the other part. We
Say
want
the
to
other
know
part.
the other part. Well, she had. She was going to say she had.
I went real soft on it. I was real corny. I just got my new apartment.
Oh,
So
yeah,
I was
that's
trying to
what he
flex my apartment. And so my partner, he was like, man, say something to her. I was like, nah, I ain't going to say it. I'm looking all raggedy. I was just getting, working. And he was like, nah, you got to say something to her. Then I ain't say nothing. He said something to her.
Oh.
And he just went in. He's a church guy. He's
What do you
this.
do? What
and-
do you
Church
say?
do you go to?
He was like, yeah, he just went in for it. And I'm sitting there in the back like, oh my goodness, bro. You know what I'm saying? And
and I thought they was trying to be funny. You know, you in the
Yeah.
carry out,
Yeah.
somebody trying to holler.
right.
So I'm
Right.
just like, I remember just looking at the menu like, would they be quiet? And when I walked out, Dorell was like, yeah, you like to watch movies?
That was the line around.
It was so weak.
He was like,
Nah,
yeah,
it
'cause
was
I
weak.
just-
It was
I
weak.
just, I got my own place. So I was like, okay.
How old were y'all? How old were you guys?
Um,
Cause you just
I
did you have your
was-
birthday yet? You just
I just turned 20,
Two.
no, 22,
yeah, something like
22.
22.
Oh, okay.
23.
And I think that was it. And I was like, she ain't gonna call. We exchanged numbers. Then
And he called me before
and
I,
I was-
even got off.
I said I'm gonna call.
As soon as he
her.
got back to the yard, he called me.
As soon as I got it, I said I'm gonna see what's up with her.
The same day.
Same.
Yeah.
So you weren't playing these games people say like
No,
you need
no.
to wait
He was surprised.
72 hours and you can't be like calling. You ain't do all of that.
Hey, when love calls, you gotta answer.
Come on now.
So I just called. I mean, I said what's up, and that's when I found out. I said, hey, how you doing? And then it was we was talking. I was like, you know how you go through your everything. You know how long you been. You know if you dating anybody. Then I said, you got the kids.
No, you
No.
asked me.
I said,
He
no. I
asked
said
me
you
did I
got.
live alone.
I said no.
No, yes, you did. You said you live by yourself.
Oh yeah, I did say.
And
that.
I was like, no, I live with my kids. I said, no, I live with
I said
yeah.
kids.
And he was like, how many kids you got?
I said, oh, so you got a.
And I never wanted to tell people.
So I want to know, like, how did you feel
I didn't
with him asking about the kids or whatever? Was
I
that
I didn't want to have that conversation on the first, time we talked.
Why?
Cause like that was always, I don't know, just like a issue. I mean, and not like a burden, but it was just like, okay, if like that is a lot. You know what I mean?
Well,
Because
how
I
many
have
kids
4
did-
kids.
How many? Yeah, you have 4 kids. Okay.
You know what I mean? So that is a lot. I expected anybody would
Yeah.
feel like,
and that was
What?
an issue that I had. 'cause
yes, I was like,
that was like a no for me.
he was
Oh,
like, you
what?
got. That's what he said.
Like,
I said my
never,
kids, and he was like,
like-
you got a boy or girl, and I was like,
No, why you assume you say a boy or a girl?
like, you got
'Cause I
a
was like,
daughter
if
or
you got
something
a
like-
daughter, and
and
then
I
she
was
was
like, I got 2 sons and 2 daughters.
I said, wait a minute.
I remember him sounding
Wait
like,
wait a minute. So you got 4 kids?
and I was like, yep.
I was like, oh my goodness. And then that's
Was
when
it
the ride-
quiet? Was it real
That's-
quiet on the phone at that point? Or you
I
just kept
remember
flowing with it?
it.
It was quiet.
And I was just like, all right, well, he might be like, you know, a whole lot of other people, you know, but he wasn't. He called. I mean, I remember like every time he would call, he like, where your kids at? But my kids was on a serious schedule.
I mean, she was
Like-
really good with that.
like 8
it was like
o'clock.
she didn't even have kids.
8
I
o'clock.
swear.
It
She had him like, this is what we doing now.
it was- exactly.
Yeah.
So we had time to, you know, talk and, you know, just not a lot of interference. I mean, you know, in my opinion. I don't know how he felt.
So this was at 21 when y'all met. And so, Dorell, I'm curious to know, like, in your mind, like, what do you do with that information? And what made you say, let me keep on leaning in and pursuing?
It was tough. No, it was tough, man. I mean, but it was just me and her had such a vibe, and we were so cool together. We always had a good time. So honestly, it's like it wasn't even when I just that time, you know, the times that we spent with each other. It's like I blocked all that stuff out. She made it real easy too. It was more so like she made it where it was the kids wasn't the issue then. It was about me and her. You know what I'm saying? And she focused on that. And it was like, when it was time for me to meet the kids, I would meet the kids. But right now, she was just focusing on me and her.
Yeah.
Wow.
And I was still out there just trying to do my thing, but it was just something about it. I just,
He was still trying
He
to
always
get
reminds me of that. Like,
nah, I mean, but that's real. You know what I'm saying? I didn't want, because it was like, all right, I got my new spot. I'm about to have me a ball. You know what I'm saying? But I mean, but she was just always there. She was just making sure I was always good. And yeah, so
We were really good friends.
I mean, and I think that's what it was more than
I
anything.
think that's very important.
Yeah.
Say something about that, because I always say, like, in the work that I use and I do, I can tell right away if like people are actually really friends. Not even in the work, just period, meeting people.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I'm like I knew that about y'all. Like, oh, they friends. Like, I'd be like, oh, they like us. Like, they actually
Of
like
course.
y'all mess with each other for
Yeah.
real. You know what I mean?
Absolutely.
And when you have that, it's harder to just disconnect and stay disconnected. And I think the people who aren't friends, I don't know. I don't even understand how that works, right?
Yeah.
But they just have a whole lot more problems and a lot of
Absolutely.
difficulty getting out of them. So, was that something that just naturally happened with y'all? Like, how is it that y'all been able to be such good friends? And now y'all been married for how long?
20 years.
20 years, and maintain that friendship.
Yeah.
How
Over
long did y'all date?
these 20 years.
We were
3 years.
together 3 years before we got
Yeah.
married. So we've been
People
together
out
for 3
here
years.
like trying to figure out the formula. Like, how do you do that? What do you think has been like important for you guys in terms of the friendship piece? What do y'all do? What's the sauce?
I mean, I know for me, and I often, like, if I have an opportunity to talk to people that are dating or like single women, I'm just very transparent and just upfront with, be yourself. Be yourself, be vulnerable. And I'm just one of those, I mean, everybody has their own opinion.
Yeah.
But I truly believe, like, treat him the way that you would, your husband. Treat, dress for the job that you want. And a lot of people.
So wait a minute. Let me pause you. So you saying we're dating, we not married,
Right.
but I'm treating him. I'm giving him husband like energy.
I
Wife
that's
like
what I did.
And husband like energy.
Wife like energy.
Wife like
Wife,
energy.
yeah, wife like
I'm sorry.
energy,
I'm sorry.
right.
Wife like energy.
Yes.
Wife like energy in the dating phase, because you felt like what? Like, because I think a lot of people are like, no, you need to come over here and get here. Y'all seen that reel where the girl didn't get out the car when he took her to the cheesecake?
Cheesecake.
Oh,
She-
yeah.
She was going to a chain restaurant. Like, I don't do this.
Darell, like,
Right.
he Friday'd me to death.
We
That
Applebee'd
was
all
like-
day.
Yeah,
Like, that was
that's
like
He was
right.
Applebee'ing it up, wasn't
Yeah,
we?
we were.
Yeah, that was the bomb day. I'm like, we on the Friday.
Like, that was our spot.
Like Jack Daniels.
Yes, we used to work.
ribs.
We used to work at Forestville Mall.
Oh.
I worked at Forestville Mall. He worked at Forestville Mall. I would get off. We would go to the
My
Applebee's
money
Applebee's.
went long like that.
Oh, yeah.
I wasn't even faking like that.
So what I mean, really, honestly though, like, people would be like, at least these people out here today, they're not in these. They have people ain't even in these marriage streets, right? But they like, he needs to. I'm not doing that. I'm not giving you this. I'm not doing that. But why do you feel like that worked for you? Why did you feel compelled to show up for him in that way?
I mean, from my perspective, I think it just really shows your mate that you are available to be, what they need, what they're looking for. I mean, that's just my perspective. But I just know, like, with Dorell, and it was never like me trying to win him over, or like, let me prove to you, even though I have all of these kids, that, I can do this, that, or the third. It was just really me letting my guard down, and being available.
And it was
to
so
him.
hard for me to let my guard.
You know what I mean? And he didn't meet me there. You know what I mean? Because he was very guarded.
Yeah.
Why?
I don't know. I mean, I just think it was that time, and I finally had that space. And when I saw the energy she was trying to, well, not trying, but she was giving off, it was like, nah, I can't. I'm not ready for all that yet. I still want to be in the street. I still want to pick it. I'm serious. I still want to, have fun. And if I'm staying, and if I see her and I'm committed to her, then I'm not going to be able to do, So when she was giving it, I was like, nah, that's too much. But then it's like,
But it felt good. You know what I mean?
It was like, she's everything I need, but right now, I don't want that right now. You know what I'm saying? So it was like, the more she would come, the more I would find myself like, trying to be more standoffish. Like, I had my routine. I was just,
Yeah.
Every Sunday I did this, you know, and it was like, what's up? Like, I got some time. Like, and it was like, she was just like constantly. I was like, man, come on.
But we had a really good time. I mean, to go
Yeah.
back to, your question about the friendship, I think, I mean, and I don't have a lot of experience with like talking to a whole lot of people in relationships. But the people that I have talked to, I think a lot of times you see things that don't mesh. And we want to make it serve us and our purpose, But sometimes it's like, okay, would that type of person be your friend? Is that the type of girlfriend you would choose? You know what I mean? Is that the type of male friend, that you would choose? And a lot of times you wouldn't, So we think that just being in a relationship and romanticizing being together is going to make it different. But you have a lot of the signs. And that's why I think it was hard for Dorell to not give into his guardedness because we had a lot of fun. You know what I mean? And I know ultimately I wanted to be married.
Yeah.
But I wasn't like, okay, I'm going to pin this guy down and he's going to be my husband. And I mean, me and my kids were good. You know what I mean? We were good.
So what was you doing with that, though? That's what I want to know. What were you doing with, like, so if you were being standoffish and kind of, I mean, I'm sure you weren't like that 100%.
She got tired of it.
Like, what were you doing with that? Because, both of y'all is Pisces.
Nah.
I'm a Leo, he's a Virgo. So I see some similarities.
Yes.
I see some similarities in some of our history. You know what I'm saying? So I'm like, if he was like, kind of like, yeah, okay, cool. Like, but then he was leaning out, which is kind of similar to our story, but I was kind of leaning out. And he was like, what's up, though?
Nah.
That's how I was.
What's up, though? Right? I'm
That's how
just like,
I
what did you
was.
do with that? Because
I'm like, we gonna be in a relationship or we not? I'm not playing these games. I'm too old.
But you said she got tired.
Nah, she got
Yeah, I
tired.
did.
She played the game for a
I
minute,
was
then
like,
she was like,
nah, we ain't doing this.
So did you draw like a line in the sand?
Yes, I'm like, we together. I mean, of course, back then it was like, we boyfriend and girlfriend.
Oh, we
I
not.
wasn't staying for nothing.
And he was like, oh, and that's what happened. So we like broke up, and I was just like, I'm not pressed. I had
You was
my
lying,
little-
though.
'cause- and that was the funny part. I mean, we were friends, but I was dealing with this guy that didn't care. And I had 4 kids.
You talking about Dorell?
No, I was dealing with another guy, but he was a friend. Like, it was just a friendship. But he didn't care I had 4 kids.
Oh, you was
Like-
still caring? You was bringing that stuff up or something? Was you caring?
No, but he was like, I don't know if I can do this.
Oh.
It's too
I mean,
much.
it was just that.
And
Yeah.
it was
You
not.
were just in process,
It
like
wasn't.
trying to digest
I mean,
it.
it was just me, because she made it so simple. It was me, just that pushback.
Like just trying to wrap your mind around.
Yeah, just the whole, like, when I have the opportunity to be with her, I was thinking about all the other stuff instead of just concentrating on her. It was like, okay, I'm gonna be with her, then I gotta be with the kids. Eventually, I'll be, because I still haven't, like, actually. I haven't met the kids yet, right? But I knew they was there, and that was like
Looming in the background.
yeah, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And yeah, I mean, she just made it real easy, and a lot of the stuff that was in the back of my mind. That's all it was. Just thinking about, will I be able to take on all that? As
He did a good job.
Let me ask this question. So, I'm glad that you're that you did a great job, Dorell. During the course of this right here, you mentioned, Tameka, that you was talking to somebody else who was a friend, and he didn't mind about the children. But for you, because you lifted it up earlier, was it a thing for you? Like, did you feel some sort of way about having the 4 kids, or was it a thing or not?
I mean, it wasn't a thing because I just think as a mom, you know what I mean? That's your focus.
Right.
You know what I mean? So you don't really allow it to be a thing. But when it came to me, you know what I'm saying, outside of the kids, it was because I mean, I often like think about me and Dorell together. Like, damn, I don't know if I could have done what you did. Like, if you came into this relationship and you had 4 kids. Like, honestly, I don't know if I could have done it. And I am extreme. Like, I'm a Pisces to the core.
You would have done it.
But I don't know. You know what I mean? Because the reality is me having children so early, I never had an opportunity to be selfless. You know what I mean? I never had an opportunity to think about myself. I've always been selfless. You know what I mean? So I don't know. And Dorell, him just having himself and coming into, I mean, and we're talking about, he was in his late 20s. So still young, but old enough to have a sense of what you want and you don't. So if I had gotten that far in my adult, young adulthood, just by myself, and what I know about myself now,
you would have said no.
Oh, girl, listen. I think I would have said no. You know what I mean? Like, I didn't get an opportunity to explore that part of me. You know? But now what I know about myself, I really, I mean, and me and Dorell have this conversation, but I really commend that he was able to do that. You know? But I didn't allow, it was hard for me to date. And I knew I didn't like dating. And not because of like different guys and stuff. It was just too hard, like with child care. And,
Right.
I mean, my mother is like one of them real, like, you need to get these damn kids and these your kids. And they were young. I mean, when I met Dorell, they were 3, 4, 6, and 8. You know, so they were young.
Yeah, that's when you like hard in the paint. Like,
Oh my gosh.
It's always something you got to do.
Yeah, they were young, and I'm trying to date and
That was there.
do stuff, and you know, and Dorell is the type of man. Even now, he was not going to admit it, but even 23 years later, like, he wants a lot of individualized attention.
Wow.
Yes.
I think that's really, but that's so good to hear. Because I feel like people, I say this all the time, think about things black and white. Like, it need to be like this, or it need to be like that. I need it like this or that, or I can't do it. Well, that's not real life. Like, that's just generally not usually how it's going to happen. So, you know, you're talking about the fact that you came into a situation, you're like, bruh, I said, do you have a boy or a girl? And you said, 2 of each. 2 of each, right? And so you had to deal with that, and then the fact that you needed and you wanted, as a lot of people do and deserve, individualized attention, but y'all were able to get through that and figure it out. So would you say it's the love that you all had for each other?
Definitely.
I mean, like, is there something about this love thing? Ooh, ooh, ooh. Is there something about, like, what was the magic thing? Is there something about the love that is like you can't deny?
I think it was the friendship. I think it was
it's the friendship.
I think it was the friendship, because I
true.
think, like, even if me and Dorell, like, aren't married, like, we would be friends.
Yeah.
Like, he's like, I wouldn't be your friend, but I think we would be friends.
Nah, I think we'll be.
You know what I mean? I think, like, we're good friends, and I think, honestly, like, when you think about your BFF, when you think about, you know, the dude you grew up with and y'all still tight, I think it's really the vulnerable piece. You know, I think it's knowing how to let your guard down. I mean, and Dorell, I still tell him, like, I think it's still parts of you I don't know.
Yeah, I said that to you.
You know what I mean? Like, I still think you have.
Are you finding out stuff? I'd be like, dang, I didn't know you felt like that.
You know, so, but I think somebody has to be available to let 100% of their guard down.
Yeah.
And then they start to create the space.
Absolutely.
Oh Lord,
They
ding,
start
ding, ding,
to
ding.
create the space, and
Yes.
even if the other person isn't willing to let 100% of them out and just available, you know, at least they know in the back of their mind that when they do, it's safe.
Let me tell you something.
You know what I
You
mean?
said a whole word, right? Like, I say this thing all the time. I be beating this thing into the ground. Because so many people, so many couples, I feel like they on this 50-50 mess. Like, Well, you ain't do this when you ain't do that. And I'm like, bruh, like, there was a whole period of our relationship where I used to say stood in the gap, where I had these daddy issues, and I was out here like, I love you, but we call this dude over here really himself. You know what I mean? Like, I had my issues when we were dating, you know, and there was a period of time when he was going through his stuff, and I was like, can you get some more money in here? We talked about that last episode, and he was like, I'm going to keep doing it the way I want to do it. And it doesn't work like that. Somebody has to lead. My point is, let me say this to the camera. Somebody has to lead and somebody has to stand in the gap. Whoever has the most insight, the most ability, right, has to kind of, stand in the gap for the relationship. And I feel like, well, I need to see like what you doing over here before I do. Because then y'all both standing there like this. And then y'all just sit there.
Role.
Yeah.
Of course.
And it doesn't work. And so I really love that you said that, because I feel like I just feel like that's just like such a superficial way to be in real relationship with somebody, where you see like they got some vulnerabilities, they got their guard up, whatever. But I'm a lean in anyway. I'm gonna lean in
It's
anyway.
very necessary. I mean, and I think it speaks to the longevity,
Yeah.
of relationships, because the reality is you don't know what's going to come around the corner. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And just being able to deal with that, however it is. I mean, like with me and Dorell knows, like, I'm an open book. I'm an open book. I'm going to tell you how I feel. I'm going to speak my mind. I'm going to not speak my mind. And I know with him,
You open book, Dorell?
no.
I asked that on purpose. He said,
No, he's guarded as hell. Even now.
I'm getting better though.
you get better.
I'm getting a lot better. I'm getting a
hell.
lot better.
I mean, and like, he's so good at just making me
But it's not
feel
on purpose.
safe.
It's just,
Like, I'm like,
I think that's
you'll
just
be listening
the way
with
I've been
you.
grown,
Acting like
the way I grew up.
Yeah.
Single. Just in the house with, I grew up with my grandparents. So they raised me. And everything I did, I was like by myself.
Yeah.
So when I met Tameka, it was like, dang, what am I going to do? I'm so used to being over here with just me and me being able to lay my schedule out, do what I want to do, when I want to do it. And now, she's just like, well, let's do this, let's do that. So everything I did was like, bop, bop, bop. Hers is like, everything.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And it was because of her schedule. It was like, look, I got some open time. That's how we going to do it. That everything was, with her, it was just, all right, let's go here. Let's go there. I'm like chill. You know what I'm saying? But then I was like, you know what? I think that's what I need. I need somebody to have that space where, they can kind of let me open up a little bit. Because I'm always so just, I don't know. Maybe not. I don't think I should. Nah, we shouldn't do that. Tameka was like, nah, let's do it. Let's go. And I was like, you know what? She cool as shit for that. I like that. Because it's something that I'm not going to do. I'm more so just, I don't think that's going to work. Or, I'm a risk taker. I'm a dreamer. But she's like, nah, let's do it. You know what I'm saying? I remember one time, I'm going to tell a story where I always used to look at MTV and I'm going to Miami spring break. I'm going spring break. And she just, paid attention and listened. So one day she came and did you pick me up?
I know we were over your house. And we were watching it on TV.
We were
Remember they
watching
used to
it.
televise the
I remember that.
So, that was one of my things. I'm like, I got to get to Miami on spring break. So she just paid attention to that. So one day she picked, I think I picked her up, whatever. I don't know how we ended up, but I think we were driving my car. And then I was like, what's the cooler in the back for? And she was like, we going to Miami.
What?
I was
Really?
like,
Oh, you
what?
surprised
How we getting
them.
there? She's like, we driving. I said, no, the hell we ain't driving.
What?
Still driving.
And she went, we had the best She
Wow.
packed sandwiches, Capri
This
Suns.
is a mama for kids.
You pack
I
Capri
mean,
Suns.
yeah.
You got Capri Suns. You about to do
I
it
mean, the
up.
cooler full of sandwiches. I'm sitting there like, man, who is this, man? You know, I'm used to all these bougie, just all this, and you know, take me to, you know, the
What
steak.
you doing for me?
Yeah,
All
yeah,
that type
yeah.
of stuff.
You know, but Tameka she wasn't like that. I mean, and I think that was one of the things that just really, just you know, made me so attracted to her was just that natural, just you know, her being herself and none of that stuff, with none of the glamorous stuff, all that stuff to her was just she was like that stuff corny. This me, you know. And that's what and we went to Miami, man. I'm sitting there, I'm still just looking at her like, I still had my uniform on.
Wow.
You was ready.
Did you pack my clothes?
I can't remember.
That's crazy.
But I know we got on the road and we drove to Miami.
y'all had a good time.
And we had a really good time.
But look, this points to the whole piece of like taking a risk and
Absolutely.
putting
Yeah.
yourself out there. Like you had to take a risk to do that and be like,
Yes.
come on, we going. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
And
of
you looking at her,
course.
you had to take a risk to lean in some more
Of course.
instead of being guarded and
Of
that kind of
course.
thing.
And I pushed back
she
again.
broke you
Didn't I?
down.
Like
You pushed
after the
back
trip,
after that?
after it was over, I said, "This is too. Nah, this is going too fast.
Oh.
This is this working too good. Nah."
So what you do? What you said? You had a
I don't
conversation?
know.
What
I
you
had
do?
an issue. I had
He
a
was getting on
breakdown.
my nerves.
You made up
That's
some
what he was
shit.
doing.
You made it
He
up.
was getting on
Yeah.
my nerves. That's
Cause
what
I'm
he was
like, Joe,
doing.
what am I going? I'm about to go back home, and we about to really be kicking it together. Like I still, you know, I'm trying to be out there.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Cause it's like I felt
Every
like
day goes back to being out
no,
there.
because I was like, if I'm a be, I wanted to be committed to her. You know what I'm saying? I didn't want to be juggling. You know, that's not my thing. I ain't even good at that. Like if I'm going to be with you, I'm gonna be with you. If I'm out, if I'm playing, I'm playing. Everybody, that's what it's gonna be. But when it came to her, I just wanted to be fully committed. I didn't want to like disappoint her or you know.
So what did that look like? So you was still after that like, wait a minute, this is feeling real close. You know,
Yeah.
my therapist had said she was like, oh, this is intimacy. This is too intimate.
Yeah.
I don't want this intimacy because it
Yeah.
feels too good and too like I ain't ready to be there.
And I was like, why do I feel like
What
that?
did you do with that? Like, so you was
Yes.
Oh no, she was getting tired.
Yeah, I'm just like, I mean, and a lot of it going back to my responsibility. You know, now at this point, you've met the kids. You know, we're having a good time. And I just really had a hard time figuring out what is your problem. You know what I mean? If this feels good, it's, you know, I mean, I know a lot of it was when we came off the trip, the kids was off the chain.
Oh yeah, let's
My
go.
mother
Let's talk
kept
about
them
that.
for a week. My mother is like, come get these damn kids.
That was another thing.
My mother took, my youngest daughter at the time was 3. My mother took her to daycare all week with her shoes on the wrong feet. So the daycare
It was
provider,
never. When I tell you,
the daycare provider is like,
it was
who is
never
this
a dull
crazy
moment. It was.
old lady breaking
always
these
something
babies
going
to school with their shoes on the wrong
I had a
feet.
real simple life.
So it was
Just
off the
real-
chain.
right there. That's
So we
way
came
more
home to
complicated.
chaos. But I'm like, this is a good introduction
Yeah.
to the way things getting ready to be. and it was.
Yeah. Yeah.
It was. I
Oh
mean,
my
we
gosh.
have successfully raised
Yeah.
4 adults that are self-sufficient, get ready to have a 5th adult. You know what I
Yeah,
mean?
I got 2 more.
Yeah, right. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? So just really leaning in, like if nothing else.
Yeah.
You know, just the message of leaning in, like unrealistic expectations. I think a lot of people, I don't want to say women, but people, just have unrealistic expectations of what marriage and love
Yeah.
and dating and being together looks like. It looks like a lot of work,
Yeah.
a lot of sacrifice,
It is a lot of work.
a lot of pain.
sacrifice.
You know, a lot of sleepless nights, crying yourself to sleep.
Right.
I'll tell anybody. I cry all the time.
Me too, girl.
I still cry.
That's why we friends.
Okay?
So I'm a crier too.
I still cry. I told her, I'm like, you need to cry more.
I'm trying.
You like, I'm all right. I still cry. You know, but that's what makes relationships work.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know,
So
I mean.
let me ask this question then. So, like one of the things that stands out to me about you all, number one, y'all are inspiration.
Thank you.
You know, y'all inspire us. And when we met y'all, and just to hear your story, it speaks volumes about just resilience
Yeah.
that each of you all have. But the piece that you know also stands out to me is that there's a certain level of self-acceptance that had to be present in order for you all to even pursue each other. And so when I think about you, Tameka, and your journey, and when you had your first child and the age that you were, and to be able to drop gems and have the insight that you have right now, like there has to have been a certain level of self-acceptance and really valuing who you are to get to where you are right now, because not a lot of women arrive at the place that you are. And then for you, Dorell, just to be able to be with Tameka, see her, and choose to step into it. Like you had to be grounded to some degree within self to like make that decision to like I'm going, like although it's folks out here in these streets, like I'm choosing this. So when I think about that, it just speaks to you all's individual power, and so I'm truly impressed by that.
Yeah.
Like it's really remarkable, and it's
thank
inspiring because
Thank
not
you.
everybody would do what y'all did. Like, and some people might even discourage you, Dorell, and
Right.
discourage you, Tameka.
I
But
heard it a lot of times.
I'm
You
sure
know?
you did. I'm sure you did.
Bro, how you do it?
Mm-hmm.
Man, you tripping, dog. You about to be with her,
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And I remember when I was going to propose to Tameka, I went to my boy, my best friend, Bill, and he was working at Iverson Mall. And I went down and I said, man, I don't know, dog. And he was like, what you mean, man? He said, look, man, do you love her? I said, yeah. He said, man, all that other stuff don't mean nothing, bro.
Yeah.
It's going to be you and her. And he was like, man, you got me. And I'll never forget that. He said, man, if you love her, because he said, dog, because I ain't never heard you ever say you loved anybody. And I said, I do, man. He said, well, she one of the boys anyway to me. They love Tameka. Everybody loves Tameka.
Yeah.
And that was it. I mean, and it took a minute, but I always knew.
yeah,
You know what I'm saying? I always knew. I was just honestly, man, I was just scared. I was scared of just that commitment, and I think that's what a lot of men go through. Just that being committed to something, just that being just knowing that that's going to be the person you're going to be with the rest of your life. And I think that's the issues men have, and just not letting go of that past or holding on to what they think is out there and it's not there. What you got is right in front of you.
Yeah.
And you trying to be out here juggling all these different women, and you just, that one, everybody had that one. And most of the time, we just let them get away, and I wasn't letting this one get away.
Lord have mercy.
yeah.
Tameka. It's like I love
silly.
it. I know that's gonna be we're gonna make that a clip to promote this episode, because the energy was palpable right there.
Yeah.
But I really I want to talk to y'all. I hope y'all caught what he just dropped. And really what he just dropped is that you have to make a choice. You have to make a choice. You got to make a decision. Like, you can go through all of this stuff, or like, I don't know about this, I don't know about that, and you're scared or whatever. It's amazing to me how I be resonating with the real. I'm like, damn, that was me too. But at the end of the day, you just have to make a decision, right? You got to make a decision, a choice. And I'm going to say this, and then I know we're going to wrap up this episode, but this whole piece about making a decision and moving forward, you ain't going to know all of what it's going to look like and what's all going to happen, but just saying, you know what? I love her, right?
Yeah,
So I'm
that's
going to move
it.
forward.
Yeah.
The fact that Ayize and I, 4 years ago, were sitting in Waldorf, Maryland. I was going to work every day. at CFSA
Mm-hmm.
DC. Shout out to Tasha White Sims,
Mm.
who said, "Girl, we was talking all the time. We would come together. I'd be like, girl, what you got to do today?" She was like, girl, I'm like, oh, yeah, we would just be, that's my girl, right? And she said, girl, you need to, I told her what was going on with our oldest son, and she said, you need to talk to Tameka and Dorell. And I'm like, who?
Shout out to the twins.
Yeah, shout out to the twins. And we came together with y'all. And like, so this is just kind of crystallizing for me right now. Where do we go to eat at?
Cheddar's.
Cheddar's.
Yeah.
Cheddar's on.
But before Cheddar's, we went to the picnic.
Yeah, yeah.
Oh yeah, we
Yeah.
came. Yeah, that's right. We came.
Yeah, you can't
Yeah.
see
y'all
And we didn't want to
cookout.
go. I was like, who is
Oh yeah, let me tell y'all, y'all ain't quite know that. I told him, I
I
said,
already know.
Asante
I don't
said,
like it.
I met Drew online. I connected with Drew online. Right, Drew is your child, who's an actress and a singer and all those things, and Asante said the same. And he was like, and so they invited us to come to this cookout, and I was like, oh, okay, cool. And I was like, we going where?
And that'll be me.
I was like, who are these people?
Who are these people? So you
He's
don't really know. You don't really know her like that. You
Yeah.
just talk to
He's
her
like, you talked to her
online?
online? You never seen her before?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? He was like, we going over to their house, like we going
all
to,
of us?
like
Yeah.
It was something. I remember the whole time he was like, what is this again? I'm like, stop asking me that. You know what it is. We
Right,
just going.
right.
But see how it
You
is
know what
when
I'm
you
saying?
let your guard down.
Yeah.
And a lot
Whatever
of
it is.
A lot of
Yeah.
people don't realize that.
Mm-hmm.
Like you don't you'll never know
Until you
what's
do it.
on the other side
And
of
that's
that.
what I had to do.
You know, and that's
Yeah.
how life is. It's all about choices.
Yeah.
You know, and we're talking in the perspective of relationships, but it's everything.
It's
It is.
everything.
You know,
It's
I mean,
everything.
it's everything. Like I remember, so when Tasha told you, and me and I went to school, elementary school, middle school, with Tasha.
Okay.
And Dorell knew
PG.
Tasha as an adult.
Okay.
Tasha and Tameka, and we were at Love. Nightclub.
Oh,
At
yeah,
Love.
yeah,
And we
yeah,
were
yeah.
going down the stairs. And they were coming up the stairs and they saw Dorell. And then they saw me. They was y'all together. So I mean, it was like, dang, I knew her at one point in my life, them, Tameka and Tasha, and then Dorell knew them at another point.
Yeah.
And then us being together. So when they reached out to you, I remember sending you a message. You didn't respond.
Oh, for
And I-
real?
But I got it. I
What
was
was on
like,
Facebook or
it
something?
was on Facebook. But I was
Yeah.
like, I know how it is. I remember the days. Just that.
Because it's
I
always
mean, just
reach
that
out.
big blow
Shout out.
up, and everybody's just messaging you. I mean, because when the movie hit, and I'm like, I remember. So I was like, you know what? I'm not going to pressure them. I'm just going to put the information out there. And I remember, just as time went on, you responded. And I think we came back home. And then we came back home. We did the cookout.
Yeah.
And then when we sat down at Cheddar's, it's
Boy.
like, damn, we could tell them anything.
Yeah.
Like,
yeah.
oh, no, don't do it. You don't want to come out here.
But what y'all
we
said-
was like, go for
Y'all
it.
said, look, you just gotta do it. Like, it's
Just
gonna be
do
fine.
it.
Make a decision.
Of
So
course.
that's what's like coming through right
was
now.
like,
It's
oh,
like
y'all
make
can
a
do that.
decision and
That's
you don't
it.
gotta know it all. Whether
Not
it's your
know it all.
relationship,
Yeah.
whether it's your dream, whether
I'm
it's
so
supporting your
glad y'all
kids.
jumped.
Yeah.
She was like sitting there like, but
I mean,
well,
y'all
I don't know.
gave every butt, but we're social workers.
Yeah.
But we got good jobs.
We were straight.
Got
We
good
were
government
straight.
job.
Yeah,
Yeah.
like we like, all right,
Like, we had that too.
We
Yeah.
somebody.
Now let me represent. I was doing a little bit of that. He was doing a lot of that.
I was.
Yeah, no.
I went
was
through
out
quite
in
as
the
much.
streets.
We already know that's his personality anyway.
He's like, I don't know.
But not because I was traumatized. I was traumatized.
You was traumatized by what?
No, but I was traumatized from, we shared with y'all the whole experience of me being inconsistent in reference to income, doing different businesses.
Oh, and then in the last episode.
Yeah, and all of that. And so because I had gone back to school, got my master's, got my,
I never
license to
knew
practice
this.
therapy and all of that type of stuff, there was a certain level of stability that went along with that.
Wow.
And so now the request is to leave that sense of stability and come out into this new territory and basically abandon what it is that I've established here. Like, I was afraid. I was afraid. I was scared. I was uncertain.
Come here,
and
baby.
so you about to get lipstick on me.
That's cute.
I mean, because I knew you were scared, but I didn't connect it to like the fact that you were like, I've established myself, I'm providing, I got
Yeah,
it.
I was
I didn't-
like, and I ain't had to hear your mouth no more. So I did everything. I was good, and you were good. And so now you're asking me to do something different.
Yeah.
And I know it's the best decision, but I'm afraid.
At that time, it just was just.
And at that time, you probably didn't even realize that those were the emotions because
Yeah.
Dorell and I went through that.
Yeah.
You know, he's like, "Oh, I'm gonna be a DC warden." I'm like, "No, you're not."
What you gonna retire from there? Like,
No, he's like, "I'm a
course.
Get all your
word."
benefits,
No,
get all your
I was
benefits and
good.
everything.
I was
I'm
feeling
like-
like she was like.
No,
Yeah,
you're not.
that's not it.
She's
Now,
like, no,
while
you're
we
not
here in
gonna do
LA,
that.
Give me this on this because I'm with you on that. We ain't doing that.
he was like, "Oh, I'll figure out when I'm gonna come and visit." I'm like, "No, you're not."
Oh, you were saying you was gonna stay.
Yeah.
That's the
Yeah.
same thing I was saying.
I was all.
So we are
"You gonna
not about
you
to
gonna
be living
by
separately.
yourself?"
No, we are not about to be doing that.
And I'm just like, I know you don't even believe that.
Right.
You know what I mean? So,
Oh, wow.
and honestly, you know, we know, but very few people have the experience of living away from home. I'm a fifth generation Washingtonian. I know you're born and raised, and you know,
Yeah.
very few people like, you know, unless you have experiences of going away to school, you know, and you get a career path
Yeah.
that takes you in different directions.
It's a big thing to jump out
It
there.
is huge, moving away from your core.
Yeah.
It is.
You know what I mean? So, and you don't even realize at the time that that feeling is trauma. You know, I just very recently unpacked that.
Yeah.
Like, damn. I was traumatized. That was trauma.
It was.
That was going on. I mean, we came out here with
Oh, you talking about you was traumatized when you came out here?
just having to move.
Yeah, just
away.
all of that, all of
I
that.
mean, we were at each other's throats.
I mean, we left our family, our kids.
Yeah.
Just everything.
Everything. Like,
You left 4 and came with 2.
yes. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That
It
might
was-
be another episode.
Yeah,
Talking about
look,
that.
you
For real,
know,
talking about the kids.
yeah.
It's
know-
quite it was quite
It is.
unsettling.
It
That's a
is.
low key word for real.
Definitely, and definitely worth it. No
Yeah.
regrets.
Because we can relate with that too.
Of course, you know, we have that in common. So just like what you said, that was traumatizing. Just the, you know, the stability.
Yeah.
So a lot of times you don't even realize the emotions that you're feeling and the strife that it causes in your relationship,
I've
in
been
your
on my
marriage.
job for 25 years.
Yeah, he
You
like,
you were there, say it again.
25 years.
You were there for 25 years.
he like, you want me to leave? I'm like, yeah.
I didn't know it was that long, Dorell. Wow.
It was.
So I already see the comments, you know, that has both of us being simps right now because we abandoned what we wanted to do. And we went
came to
with
the pressure
women,
of your wives.
So what would you say to that?
You did it
Darrell?
for your family, man.
Yeah.
That's what you did it for.
Absolutely.
You know,
Absolutely.
It wasn't none of that.
Right,
You know what I'm
right.
saying? It's-
Yeah.
I
And,
mean,
and where you
And
sitting
that
now,
legacy.
Yeah.
where you sitting now is a completely
Absolutely.
new reality.
Of
Yeah.
course, and it's
From where you were
necessary.
before. Yeah.
And it's necessary in our communities.
Mm-hmm.
You know, it's necessary to see it, so you can believe that you can do the same thing
Yeah.
for your families. You know what I mean? And that's stepping out on faith.
My God. Let me tell you
You
something.
know what I mean?
I know for a
let
fact.
me, let me just say this.
Oh, my
then.
bad. Okay. I was like, Eric, so I know. He's
Yeah.
like, just chill for a second.
Yeah, because I did ask Dorell that question, and then the lady sounded like.
You know we can talk.
Right.
You
I'm
know,
just saying, though, I mean,
you
'cause
know
it's-
how we are.
I know.
cut him off.
No, I know, but I'm just saying that it's men who are out here that need to hear what you were speaking on, what you were
Right.
hitting on just now in terms of like you did it for your family, you did it for your family, we did it for our family. And so, is there anything else that you want to say in reference to that, like just how it doesn't reduce your manhood or your masculinity to make a decision and choose to put your family first?
Oh man. I just think like when it comes to just, you know, being a man, that's one of the things with, I think like you said, being called a simp and all of that stuff. It's like those are those issues that they dealing with. You know, I don't even look at none of that stuff. You know, I hear it in the background sometimes, but when you're doing it for your family and you're doing it for, you know, the woman that you love with, even though you might have kids that's not biologically yours, but when you with the woman that, you know, you chose to be with, you chose to also be with the kids. And when you fall in love with her, you also bring the kids along too. And I never looked at them like, you know, the step kids or nothing like that. And I always just looked at all of them together. And, you know, that stuff that, you know, the stuff that people say about, you know, Slim, I can't believe you with a woman with 4 kids and all that. I was like, look, man, I love my family, and I'm going to do what I have to do for my family. You going to leave your job, Joe's 25 years, Slim, you tripping? And I was like, man, I got a bigger picture. Yeah. This ain't for you. This is for us. And I'm going to stand on it. And it was tough, you know what I'm saying? I'm not going to say it was easy because it wasn't. But I had Tameka there. She was just like, honey, it's going to be okay. We're going to be all right. You know, and when I heard that, it was like, I was good. You know, I was just, once I heard that, it was like, you know, and it's still like, you know, she's still like, I know it's a lot of stuff that I still say, but I think it was like you said, it was just the fear of just jumping out there. And but then when I just kept hearing her say, honey, we're going to be all right. You know, then
she was speaking life to you.
Yeah. The question becomes like, whose voice matters the most? Like, is it? I mean, your homies, their voice is cool. It matters, but at the end of the day, like
they
when
not
I'm
there though.
Yeah, they not there.
They not there.
Not in the trenches with me in the same way. And when I get wounded or hurt, they not there to patch me up and then you know sit by my side and feed me my soup or whatever it may be.
Yes,
I got somebody that's here with me, and so it's her voice that matters most. It's my voice that also matters most too. And so again, I'm gonna listen to my woman before I'm gonna listen to y'all, because y'all not doing this with me the same way that she doing it with me.
Like you said, she in the trenches with you.
Yes.
So hey,
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
Woo! This has been an amazing connection and conversation.
Absolutely.
The connection started a long time ago, started 4 years ago.
Yeah.
Can y'all believe it's been 4 years since we met?
That
Oh my
time
gosh,
flew.
the time has flown by. But there are always themes that come out of the conversations that we have. I don't know if any themes come up for y'all, but what comes up for me is really leaning in when you don't have all the answers, when you don't know what it's going to be like, when you don't know if you're going to be safe or if you're going to have a rug pulled out from under you. You just got to lean in. Another theme is love, right? Like love conquers all. It really does. When things don't make sense, you know, love will make space for you to expand and be able to become all that God would have you to be. And I just really want to thank y'all. Thank y'all for coming on, for not just coming on the show with us, but for being our friends.
Absolutely.
For hanging out with us.
Absolutely.
You know what I'm saying? Because we don't have a whole lot of family. We got a little teeny bit of family down here.
Absolutely.
Is it down here, over here, up here? Wherever it is. You know, I don't be knowing what it
Wherever
means.
we are.
Yeah,
We definitely family.
Yes, we are.
right in LA. But I really appreciate you guys because y'all are real. And y'all are dope people, and y'all actually are real friends of ours. And so I am so happy to have had this conversation. Any last statements or themes that came up for anybody before we?
This was good. We just gotta bring them back.
Oh yeah, y'all.
We got more to unpack.
We got
more to unpack.
We gotta have a part 2.
Part 2 to be continued.
Yeah.
Yes. So everybody, thank you for tuning in to the Relationship Cheat Code, where we do what, babe?
Where we...
I'm sorry. I'm trying to keep it together. The way you said it, where
we still figuring this out, y'all. All right, y'all.
We give you the game.
We give you the game.
To stress less.
Yeah, to stress less.
And be your best.
Be your best
in your relationships.
Yeah.
Peace.
Who's the writer?
Oh my goodness.